consistency. California, Australia. California, Australia. Why? Eventually, we're going to find out. But my heart goes out to all of the people in Australia. I have a lot of subscribers there. I've become friends with a lot of people in Australia. You know, and I'm an animal lover too, man, and it just breaks my heart to see all of those animals and in their demise and the people that have died. It's awful. Awful. Sorry I get kind of worked up about that, but it really, really gets to me. And I tried to warn people 3 months before it even happened. Nobody said a word. I got ridiculed more than anything. And now, there's no end in sight. It's very disturbing. Anyways, getting back to what we were talking about here with this planetary setup with the Earth, the Sun, and this damn object. This object has a set orbital pattern, okay? It's not going to change. It's not going to make any type of Nibiru breakaway speed and crash into the Earth like Nancy Leader and some of these other bozos talk about. That is not going to happen. The gravity of the Sun is just too damn strong. Once the Sun takes gravitational hold of a planet or an object like this, that's it. It's where it's at for all eternity, okay? So it's not going anywhere. And you know, folks, somewhere down the line, this may be the demise of the Earth, but not just yet. So, as the Earth rotates around the Sun, there are about 3 points in a calendar year where we're going to see 3 months of very serious upticks in seismic activity, volcanic activity, and very sharp impacts to the magnetosphere. Why is that? Well, January is one of those months. I mentioned that to Mark quite a while ago. And I said, look, buddy, you think things are getting active right now. Wait till the cycle starts again in January. Because in January, if you look at the diagram right here, we are in direct alignment as this object orbits the Sun. Meaning, as the object comes upward, starts to loop around the Sun, it is now looping around what should be the back part of the Sun, but because where we are at in the calendar year, we are now facing it. And no, folks, we're not going to see this object from Earth eclipsing the Sun. I get that question all the time. Scott, why can't we see it from Earth? Well, let's just put it this way. The Sun is 865,000 miles in diameter. It produces a massive amount of light. If you take an object the size of this object, which is possibly 5 times the size of Jupiter, and as close as it is to the Sun, which should be at its closest point about 750,000 miles at its closest point, if you put an object in front of light, up against it, is it going to eclipse the light? based on the size of the sun, based on the size of that object, does it have the opportunity to eclipse the sun? The answer is no, because the object is too close to the sun. Now, case in point, why do we have eclipses with the moon? Well, take into consideration that the moon is about 3,200 miles or something like that, 3,600 miles in diameter. It's tidally locked with the Earth, and it's 238,000 miles away from the Earth. So, optically, it can eclipse the sun. But if you put the moon all the way out into space closer to the sun, you wouldn't see the eclipse, would you? I hope all of you can get your gears going and understand what I'm talking about. So you could do a little experiment with a flashlight. Face the flashlight at the wall, go get a marble. Go get a little tiny marble or golf ball. Well, golf ball would be too big. I don't know, something small enough to represent a planet. Put that object right up against the light, right up against it, or maybe a quarter inch away from it. Is that little marble going to eclipse the flashlight? No, it will not. The light will bend around it. That is truly why we don't see eclipses. So whenever I got all of these people chattering in the live chat and chattering in the comment section, telling me that I'm wrong, why don't we see it from Earth? Why don't we see it eclipsing the sun? That is why. Now, if you move that object to the point where Venus is, well, now that would truly be a whole nother ball game, folks, because there would be no way in hell that the government or any system that they have in space would be able to prevent us from seeing those eclipses every single month. And then everybody on Earth would be freaking the fuck out. But see, that's not the case. This object is very, very close to the sun. I've shown you video of this object passing through the sun's corona. It would have to be anywhere within 500,000 to 750,000 miles away from the Earth or the sun at its closest point. Little planet Mercury is 48 million miles from the sun. 48 million miles. Now, if little Mercury was the size of Venus, guess what? Guess what? We would see eclipses frequently, but that's not the case. Sorry I'm getting all amped up about this, folks, but I've been wanting to explain this to a lot of you for a long period of time. I hope everybody gets it. If you don't agree with me, then I think you need to go do your homework, go do your research, go do some experiments, and after you do, you'll see that what I'm saying is spot on. That's why we don't see these eclipses, is because this object's too damn close to the light source. And it would take an object probably, I would say an object at least a third of the size of the sun to create an eclipse being that close. And we may or may not even notice it. It all depends. It all depends in positioning. timing and how fast.
Alright guys, this video is brought to you by Planetx News. This is actually a live. I am going to leave the link in the description. He's talking about how this object, so-called Planet X, is, starting the issues with our climate, why California has been on fire, and I keep bringing that up, and some dummy keeps thumbs in my video down, but I don't care because I'm not the only one that can see it. And then Puerto Rico just had the earthquake, 6.5. And then I think somewhere else, a month ago, there was another major earthquake. This is due to this Planet X right here, that red ball that he's showing you. It is in our atmosphere. It has been here for a while. And because it's getting closer to the sun, it's making our planet system bounce everywhere. And what our government is doing with these so-called contrails, like he said, if you watch his full live, I don't know how long it's going to be. This is just a portion of his live. They're up there trying to block, all the radiation that's raining down from space now, from whatever's going on up here. So I hope you guys do like this video. Do your own research, open your eyes, open your mind, man. And do not obey, guys. Stay woke.